Well, attorneys representing two Valley counties were in court today. They're fighting the inclusion of the citizenship question on the upcoming census.
Channel 5's Valerie Gonzalez reports.
The legal team representing Hidalgo and Cameron say where the question comes from and the original intention for that question could prove their argument that it was done as a pretext for something else and it could violate the Constitution.
In this memo, the U.S. Department of Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, who oversees the Census Bureau, said they inserted the citizenship question after the Department of Justice instructed them to do so on December 12, 2017. In that same document, Ross stated, "My staff and I consulted with federal governmental components and inquired whether the Department of Justice would support, and if so, would request inclusion of a citizenship question as consistent with and useful for enforcement of the Voting Rights Act." Rolando Rios, an attorney representing Hidalgo and Cameron County in this lawsuit, believes Secretary Ross prompted the DOJ's directive.
In other words, it's not like they asked us whether they wanted it in there. Actually, we told them to ask us so that we could then tell the court, well, the Justice Department told us.
Rios will argue the intention had another pretext to include the question, to undercut the Latino vote, as census data is used to create congressional districts. The plaintiffs will also contend that adding this question will affect how many people participate. The U.S. Census has admitted that the inclusion of the question will decrease the response rate, but only nominally.
We don't expect a 1% reduction in the response.
aggregate.
Right, yeah.
In an April budget hearing, an official with the Census Bureau, Dr. Ron Jarman, said the majority would not be affected. It would only be felt in certain demographic pockets of the nation.
And so it just wouldn't have a big impact on the overall response rate. It would be the response rates of subgroups that would matter.
Rios believes that if the Census Bureau knows there would be an adverse effect by including the question, it would violate the constitutional requirement to count all who live in the United States.
Rios' team found the document after requesting the government to release internal communications. He's requested to look at more documents involving the Department of Commerce Secretary. The court ordered the government make them available next week. We'll be following that development. In the studio, Valerie Gonzalez, Channel 5 News at 10.